Hey guys, Jeff here with Ghost Knight Gaming, and we're back for another review. I don't have any fancy props this time around, but I'll wait for my next review and we'll see what comes up. But this time I'm reviewing Justice League. I finally got a chance to see it here at the tail end of 2017, so I figured I'd take an opportunity to review it and let you guys know what I thought about it, and kind of break it down a little bit more than maybe some of my other reviews have done. So sit back and stay in, and definitely let me know in the comments below your opinions on this, because I get the feeling a vast majority of you people are going to differ from mine. So I'm going to start off by saying I enjoyed Justice League. It was actually a pretty good movie. Now, saying that, my standard for movies is very different than other people's. Not being a standard DC fan, like, I mean, I didn't really start getting into DC comic-related stuff, probably except in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, and mostly thanks to the the DC animated movies. Excellent movies, all of which I recommend. Maybe I'll review some of those later, but for now, let's focus on the movie that we're reviewing. Now, that being said, I was actually a fan of Batman vs. Superman, Man of Steel, and definitely Wonder Woman. All of which I really enjoyed, and were, I guess, the closest thing we could get to an introduction to the DC cinematic universe. So this is their opportunity to try to step into that big ballpark that Marvel has kind of hit a couple of home runs in on, and I think that's my first point on this. The biggest problem I found that Justice League has run into is everybody's too busy trying to compare it to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the biggest dilemma for them is that that's not fair. It really isn't. They're very similar franchises. They've been butting heads for the better part of ever, as comics and animated and games and everything. That's the biggest disadvantage for it. Now, let's sidestep here. The Avengers has a simple advantage. It had gotten 5, 6, quite a few movies ahead of the game before Avengers even came out. So we've had some opportunity to see what some of the solo characters can do. They've been able to test the waters, be able to get some big directors on board for that kind of stuff to build up to Avengers, right? We had Iron Man 1 and 2, Thor, Captain America. Yeah, all of that before the Avengers came out. So some really big movies, all things considered, before they even got in it. Whereas Justice League had Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Wonder Woman. And other than Wonder Woman, Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman did not get very well received. Now, some of it I can understand. Oh, and Suicide Squad. Sorry, I forgot that one as well. But it hit the same note. All of them kind of didn't get very well received because they were all coming off of Christian Bale Batman, is a lot of what it was. So the tone in Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League were originally trying to emulate Christian Bale's Batman. Very dark, grim, that's Frank Miller Batman. That's what they were doing. So, and then they had to try to shift gears. So you see it in Wonder Woman. You see it attempted in Suicide Squad, where they tend to lighten the tone a little bit more to kind of match what has been going on over in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where they are lightening the tone and playing with those group dynamics and those fun interactions between characters. Stuff we all know and love from those characters. Stuff that actually shows up in the comics and the animated stuff. They just didn't quite get there. Now, Man of Steel was great for a lot of reasons, personally to me. And I'll get into that shortly here. Mostly because it also affects some of the stuff that comes up in Justice League. But anyway, getting back on track here. So, Justice League had a lot to live up to, and it also has a lot of hype, because once again, they're dealing with another thing that they're unfairly being compared to, and that's their animated movies. Of which Justice League, Flashpoint Paradox, Assault on Arkham, all that kind of stuff. I could name a ton of DC animated movies that are all excellent movies, all for great reasons. Dynamic character development, personality that are just fun to play with, excellent animation, all that kind of stuff. All banged in there to make great movies out of it. And they were trying to actually compete with that without even realizing it, and without fans even realizing what they're doing. They're comparing them to that without letting them kind of stand on their own 2 feet. So now we're going to get into a little bit of spoiler territory, so be warned. Maybe I'll put a little spoiler alert thing here right here. Not super spoilers, but if you haven't seen the movie yet, maybe just skip to the end. Alright, so we're going to start, and I'm going to just talk about the characters themselves. I'm going to actually break it down by member of the Justice League. So we're going to start with Superman. Superman, I think Henry Cavill, if I'm saying his name correct, is actually probably one of the best Supermen I've seen. He's got the physique that the ladies like, I'm assuming. I don't know. He's got a manner of bearing both Superman and Clark Kent in such a manner that really shows how human Superman is supposed to be as Clark Kent. But also that level of kind of above that is Superman. And he has a couple of really good moments where you kind of see sometimes he enjoys being Superman. He gets the opportunity to do that when he's thrashing bad guys. And it's something that is actually really cool to see. Batman. Ben Affleck as Batman, I think, is actually not a terrible choice. I didn't mind him in Batman vs. Superman. And one of the things I love about the Justice League movie is that it's probably the most human I have seen Batman ever show up almost in anything. You know, by comparison to any other incarnation of him, even, you know, stuff like going back to Clooney and stuff like that. But, and definitely compared to Christian Bale, where Christian Bale was more the image of Batman. Bruce Wayne was just a persona. Batman was him. Whereas Ben Affleck is also Batman. He is also Bruce Wayne. And he is so portrayed so human in this, and he's so able to deliver on a man that just wants to help. And he's doing everything he can, sacrificing everything when he has nothing but money as a superpower. One of the best lines in the movie is between him and the Flash. And let's get right into the Flash. Now, Barry Allen, I think, is portrayed great in this movie. Has done a really great job of kind of taking the quirkiness that is Barry Allen and just kind of playing with it a bit. Now, he's playing whereas Ben Affleck is playing a much older Batman, Barry Allen is playing a much younger Barry, or he's being portrayed as a much younger Barry Allen. So, you know, early 20s and still kind of just a kid by comparison to Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman. Poor Wonder Woman. You know, it's just fun watching him play this. It's something that was great about Quicksilver in X-Men First Class, is the same things there. That quirk of how do you deal with being that fast and being able to do these things that nobody else can really do, and then just kind of having fun with it. Let's get into Cyborg. Really well cast. I loved Cyborg. I loved the dynamic of him and how he plays in. I loved the seeing the struggle between how he was created and how Cyborg came to be and what is Victor Stone. So that's that evolution of his character going from absolutely hating what he is to finally being able to accept and be what he is, and trying to build up to that point. Something that is great and important with Cyborg's character. Wonder Woman, I mean, Gal Gadot, yeah, she hits it out of the park playing Wonder Woman. And even in Justice League, another great thing that they do in this one, going back to my thing about Batman, is they do a very good job of humanizing even the most powerful members of the team, you know, giving them that shaping that they aren't just these titanic powerhouses that can smite anybody and everybody in their path, which they could, but we're not going to get into that. And finally, oh geez, now I can't remember his name, Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Now, not knowing a ton about Aquaman, I'm not a big and privy on it. I mean, I don't hate Aquaman, because apparently everybody hates Aquaman, but I don't think anybody hates Jason Momoa's Aquaman. This young and brash Atlantean that, you know, swims with the fishes and, you know, sports some pretty cool tattoos. It's very interesting where this version of Aquaman is once again that young and brash Atlantean. He has not accepted his place in Atlantean society yet, and he's not ready to take center stage in Atlantis, or even in the world for that matter. So he's very reluctant, but also, you know, totally the thrill seeker, and it's a ton of fun seeing him and the dynamics he brings to some of the stuff. He's definitely you could say, dealing with the rest of the team, sometimes a fish out of water. Yeah, I had to get the joke like that in here at some point. Okay, so now on to the actual movie itself. So, like I said, it has the biggest problem for it is it has the problem of not having a big cinematic basis. It has the Avengers being held on a high pedestal above it. But the other thing is that they're trying, once again, because they've only, you know, they're really trying to introduce some of these characters and get them brought into the fold here right away. You spend a fair chunk of the movie just trying to take the effort to introduce them. I mean, we've seen Superman, we know who Batman is, and we've seen Wonder Woman. Well, everybody has definitely seen Wonder Woman. So, you know, we're trying to introduce the Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman in ways that get them right in there and get them into the story. Well, you know, also trying to tell a story and trying to give them somebody to fight. Now, they don't do a big super villain right off the hop, which I'm okay with, because it gives you an opportunity to get the team together before they have to take on their biggest and greatest and mightiest foe. Even the Avengers did that one well as well, by not taking on their biggest foe. That's 3 movies in. That's later on this year. We'll definitely be reviewing that movie. But you know, it gives them an opportunity to kind of see the team dynamic and put it together and try to get everybody together, and give an opportunity to really give the team some room to breathe. And you know, I think they did it. They really did get an opportunity to give the team a chance to get together a little bit, you know, organically, in a sense that it, as much as it was oh my gosh, we've got a great foe, let's all get some the biggest and baddest characters in the world we know and put them all together on a team because we have no choice, but they still are able to organically get them all to actually start to meld and work together in ways that don't seem super unnatural, like all of a sudden these guys get along. Why? You know what I mean? So they're able to do that. The action sequences, and this goes back to the reason, one of the reasons I love Man of Steel, is they really get a good sense of the feeling of power in some of these characters, and there are plenty of scenes where you get to see the full opportunity of exactly how strong or how powerful or how fast they are. You know, when they take these opportunities to slow things down, or just the way they use their special effects to show how hard Superman hits or Wonder Woman hits, or you know, or anything like that. You actually get to see it, and it's dynamic. It's very, oh my gosh, he actually hit him that hard. If it hits somebody else, boom, right? So they do that very well. Am I hoping that we get another Justice League? Absolutely. I want to see more. I'm looking forward to seeing Aquaman. I think they're working on a Cyborg movie. I don't know if they're working on this version of Flash for a movie or not, but I could get behind that. But I'm definitely looking to see more of this stuff. I really want to see these guys further work together, and I want to see more of the Justice League come together. Because, I mean, hey, guys like Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern to show up. I'm waiting for that. I want to see how that turns out. So, hope you guys enjoyed checking this out. It ran a little longer than these normally do, but hopefully you enjoyed the breakdown. So if you guys enjoyed me doing this and taking some more time to break this down a little bit further, or if you have a differing opinion and want to shout at me and say I'm crazy for thinking Justice League was okay, let me know in the comments below. Like me, give me a subscription, and that way you can see more of these reviews, more video game stuff, more video game reviews, series reviews, and all that other fun stuff. I'm going to stop talking now. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again next time. Have fun, keep gaming.